Morning. We are down at Swindon CC for the Swindon Road Race. It's an early one. Guys, welcome back to the What Life. Let's roll. Okay, Swindon CC boys, who I've raced with quite a lot actually. This is a 3-4 today. There is also a 2-3-4 that happens after this. Give you some info about the course and the setup. We've got the Swindon boys all ready to roll. Race with them at Abingdon quite a lot, which is quite cool. So they are hosting today's race. Thank Lord there's a coffee machine because it's really hot the last few days and I am not sleeping whatsoever. So sign on, then we're getting a coffee. How many wheelers do we have in the 3-4?
6. Full field.
Okay.
Full team, sorry.
Is that all, as in, you're saying that as in like you're only allowed 6, or are you saying that as in like...
Yeah, 6 per team.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is that a British cycling thing?
Oral thing, innit?
Okay.
I think if we could, we'd have about 20 in it.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
find about 20, but
I
yeah.
see.
I think it was based on the amount of people increase in the race. So if you had 60, you'll have 60 riders, and if you had 80, you'll have... Because I think it was...
So you'll have 6 in the 2-3-4 and 6 in the 3-4, or?
5 in the 3-4. Because it's, I think it's, how many teams are in Oral? Is it 10? So 6 lots of 10, 16, and that would have been a full field.
Okay, so basically there'll be a bunch of people that are like, effectively racing the oral league points, and then a few people like me who aren't part of that, who are just who like make up the numbers for it to be like a road race.
So if they all had a full team, you would have got in.
Yeah, I think that's what they said. Yeah, if everyone. That's why I had to wait until everyone had basically signed up to then get place. I am 51. Is that how many people are racing today?
Yeah, at the moment.
Oh,
Get any extra.
okay, you can keep taking on the days. Right, we got ourselves a coffee, got some bibs. I'm number 51. I think there's 51 people registered for today. This is a league race, which means that you can have 6 riders per team for a league event. I'm obviously not the team, but I am going to catch up with the league guys and get in on some of their team tactics, see what they're doing, and they're going to give me a bit of an insight into how they would race like a team race. But yeah, I'm still out here solo, doing it solo, racing solo. Right, so what do you guys need to know? Nothing really. We feel quite good. I feel like we've been improving, and it's 14 loops of a just under 5k course, 44 miles, whatever that is in k, like 70 odd k, and yes, that's it. That's all I got for you. Right, we've got an hour until the race. 9:30 I think is when we kick off. Suited, booted, 20-minute warm-up, back for the start line. Catch up with the lead guys because they're going to give me an insight into what they are going to do in terms of tactics, and then hopefully I can be part of that, or at least see it happen. Right, let's get ready. And if anyone wants a sticker, if you're ever at a race or an event, come say hi and grab one. Right, we're going to go and give the course a little look. It's a 5k loop-ish, and little kicker, which they reckon takes, a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, and they reckon it's about 7 minutes a loop. Right, so there is a little climb. It's, the last time I did a 3-4 race was actually the Reading race, which I think might have been part of the same league, and that actually worked out all right, but that was 7 laps. This is 14 laps. Similar thing with the hill in the Reading, when we did that Reading race, little kicker of a hill. Same thing here. I think that's going to be like the key part of the race, where you'll get a few people maybe just attack, take it up the hill quite hard. So what's my plan? I think I have to ride it like have started riding races, which is try and sit in a good position near-ish the front, and then hold on for 2-3 laps, see what the vibe is, and then just kind of at least be in a position so that if it gets taken off the front of the hill, I've got half a chance to go with them. But this is the other thing, is you don't want to go with whoever's attacking up the hill every single time, because we do that 14 times, so you're going to cook yourself. So that's the problem. That's the conundrum of like bike racing, is picking the attacks to go with, and then also finding a way to go with an attack that's not going to cost you too much energy. I don't have the answer to that. We're just going to figure out see how it goes. And yeah, looking forward to it. Feel quite good. Oh, yes. Let's go bike racing. Let's go bike racing.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck to trust. Is he my friend or my foe? I'm a exit draw. Yeah, give me that claim as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at artists, silly on block, Bambi. Baby's yellow, text. She wanna give me that.
Right guys, let's go racing. I'm going to give you a full lap here because I want people that might want to come do this race to see basically what they are in for. So we're on the course. The map top right, it has the start finish line probably in the wrong place. I will give you a nudge when we get to the start finish line. You can basically see that fundamentally it's a loop, like I said, I've said it many times, and it's just over 5k, 3 miles, 3 and a bit miles. And it's brilliant, and you do it a ton of times. The straight that we're on now that we're on the course, this is neutralised. We've got the car just in front of us. You will see when that goes. The neutralised zone lasts maybe 90 seconds. We left the HQ, come down the road, get onto the course, couple of 30, 40 seconds down the course, and then the neutralised car, the commissioner drives off, and we are kind of under race conditions. And talking of race conditions, open road racing, we're in the UK, this is a 3-4 race. The right hand side of the road is, you should not be crossing the centre line very much. That's very much against the rules, so trying to stay on the left hand side of the road. In the UK we obviously drive on the left, and other than that the commissionaires and the bike escort, and you can see that we're underway now. You can see that the watts have come on. This is the hill that we are taking on, and we're just about to get to the start finish line. So a little bit of power as the convoy drives off and leaves us to get going, and I'm probably sat too far back, my own fault. And I'm going to go ahead and just say I think my positioning is pretty terrible all day. I'm not sure whether it would have changed a huge amount. I just don't think I brought kind of the best version of myself to this race. Anyway, so this is it, start finish line, just about to cross it now. This is the start of the lap. There we go. Cool. So we're underway. You can see on the map which part, top right hand corner, which part of the course where that start finish is, and then we come down a hill and you get this sharp left. Two things to note about this course if you are thinking about riding it, or if you were riding it. The two key sections are obviously that hill, because it breaks it up a little bit, kind of makes it hard. Then you get this downhill section, and then again, if you look at that map, top right hand corner, there is that sharp left-hander. It's more than a 90-degree left-hander. It's like a 120 degree. What is it? Well, yeah, I don't know how it works, but it's a sharp left-hander, little grate on the ground as well that makes that you shouldn't really cover. Just to point out that at the road crossing, you obviously have the bike envoy, the car envoy that will close the crossing for you. So riders moving out to the right-hand side into the other lane at the junctions is not so bad because the junctions are effectively closed. Well, yeah, for the bunch for the lead riders and the bunch, the junctions will be closed. The second thing to point out is obviously you get the hill, which will break things up. This section here, coming around this corner, then it kicks on, and you can see that I hit like 900 and something watts just coming through here. It kicks on, and this was the section that would break it up more so than the hill. So the hill takes it up, kind of strings it out a little bit. You come downhill for a little bit of recovery, then you come into this straight section, and you can just see that we're holding the watts on, and it's kind of come out of that corner and it just gets hot straight away. Now I have a bit of a funny race. It doesn't really work out for me. I'm not like, yeah. Oh, and also, side note, that bike just in front of me there, the Windspace, that used to be my bike. I sold it on eBay for like 200 and something quid it went for. So, I mean, always keep an eye on my eBay. But I think I got like bar and frame for like 250 quid. Absolute bargain. Love seeing it racing. Anyway, my point being that I didn't have a good day. Just don't think I brought the best version of myself. But also, I do think the watts for this race were quite tough. It always seemed like it was pushing quite hard watts and having to work quite hard. I kind of got to start respecting some of these road races a bit more. I'm not a big road racer. This will be like my third one for the year. A lot of fun. I enjoy them, but they can be really hard. And when the watts come on and it gets hard, I just didn't have that like top 10% today, which really showed. And it showed in my positioning, because you can see that I'm always kind of like at the back of the bunch rather than trying to get up into the middle of the bunch. And I don't know why, for some reason I thought, we'll do like maybe 2 laps and just kind of see how it goes. And then after 2 laps, we can kind of start worrying about it. So we're coming up to a second junction in a sec. So if you are racing this, or if you're thinking about riding it, the things to worry about are the hill, and then once you take that left-hander, it gets hairy down here. And my day gets a bit awful. I end up getting dropped off the group, I end up getting back on the group, then I get dropped off the group, then I get back on the group. And you can't keep doing that all day. I certainly can't keep doing that all day. You can see that we're all over the road here, which I'm just kind of always, coming out to a junction, obviously fine, but I always get a bit kind of like, I always try and stay left of the center line if I can. Like 1,000 watts coming out of that corner, probably a bit unnecessary. So this is probably the only easy section of the course where things calm down a little bit, and I say that whilst we're actually doing like 500-600 watts kind of through the wheels. So ultimately what ended up happening for this first lap was a couple of the riders took it off the front. A couple of the guys who I know have their Cat 2 card are now like taking it off the front. I'm trying to get like a little bit of a better position, just moving up the group a bit as and when I can, trying to figure out like the best place to sit in the group, move up if possible. And the 2 riders basically kind of went quite early to ride off the front, and then obviously the group starts chasing them down after a bit, and that's why the first 3 laps were hard, like super hard, or I certainly found them super hard anyway. And I think lots of people did, because I think once we kind of get into the meat of like what starts going on in the race, you'll see how many people kind of start dropping back and then getting back on, dropping back, getting back on. And 51 riders, I'm not sure how many crossed the finish line, maybe 25, so I think it was something like that. So we do lose quite a few riders coming through. And this section here, we got a few roundabouts, a little bit of road furniture, that kind of stuff. And this is the only section where you can see that the road quality gets a little bit iffy. The road quality in general is great. It's just this little section here. I also know that the Swindon Wheelers, who host this race, use this as their like Tuesday night chain gang route. So they know it very well. I imagine they know every kind of inch of the tarmac, like they know where all the holes are, they know how to take all the corners, which does add up. That kind of stuff, like having that kind of course knowledge really does add up. I didn't actually do kind of like, I guess like a sighting lap. I just kind of rode up the hill, did a bit of a warm up, and then dived on the start line. So we're about to come back to effectively the hill. So I basically survived lap 1. I'm in the bunch. I'm trying to move forward a little bit, knowing that my positioning in the bunch is I'm going to be way better off if I can be further towards the front, knowing that there's a climb, so I can just, if needed, move backwards through the bunch on the climb, gives me a little bit of leeway rather than being at the back. Because if you're at the back on the climb and you're moving backwards, you're just off the back. So kind of be in a good position for the climb. But obviously with a couple of the riders, I think, start attacking the climb, riding off front and trying to like take it away. I mean, that's brave. I know Joe was one of them, one of the league boys, took it off the front early. And yeah, it's kind of like a brave move to try and ride it off the front with a couple of guys into what is effectively like going to be like an hour and a half race. So this is basically, we just hit the climb now, and I'll take you through it. Once we get up the climb for the second time, we'll dive into some of the thick of what actually happens to me during the race. But that's the lap, that's the loop. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. 2 key points: hill, sharp left-hander. Once you get through that sharp left-hander, the watts just stay on for that kind of straight section. You can see us taking it up this hill quite hard, or having to ride quite hard to stay with, the front group. 600 odd watts. I don't know what that is in watts per kg, but I'm 77 kg at the moment, maybe. So and the group is, for the best part, kind of moving away from me a little bit, or like the front of the group is certainly. And there was 14 times you were going to have to do this, so that will bite at some point. It will bite as we cross the start finish. So that's a full lap, and we come over the top. You come into the left-hander as we come through here, and you can see where things start going wrong for me. This might be a lap or so later, kind of over the grate there, and then you can see that the group is just ahead, and they just like, you got to put the watts on coming through this corner. Yeah, so I dropped, so we've skipped a lap out, and then just the amount of hard work I was having to do, I didn't ever feel comfortable, really. And that's what basically cost me, was that down here, having to put you can see the watts. I'm so happy I rode this on the SLC with the power meter, so that you can actually see like how hard I was having to work to kind of get this. And my FDP like 295 maybe, I think, at the moment. So I was really having to like dog out most of the early stages of this race. Loop it back round to the back half of the race after we kind of dropped off, like we lost the main bunch, found a little group, and the front bunch shot off because they were chasing down guys off the front. We had quite a good group now, so I guess the plan was stay in the group, try and use them to get through this and kind of see how it goes as we kind of take it up the hill again for, I don't know what this is, maybe the 4th time, but still having to ride it quite hard because we can just about make out the bunches in front of us. So if we keep on it, if we keep riding hard, we're going to hopefully get back onto the group. And that's exactly what happens. Like I said, I get dropped off the group, get back on the group, then I get dropped off the group again, and I get back on the group. And yes, it is, from that senses, this race doesn't necessarily come across as very, well, from my perspective, didn't come across as very measured. For me, it was just like, right, go, and you're recovering when you can, but the goes were just too hard for me. So coming up the climb this time, still trying to hold high 400s, 500 watts to get over, and trying to hold this little bunch's wheel, just making sure that I wasn't dropped off, like kind of, I guess, like doing just enough to try and stay on the bunch, and hoping that as a bunch we can kind of bring it back to the group. And the problem is that when the bunch itself, and once we caught them at the bottom of the hill, once the bunch itself is like sat up recovering, and we have to use that time to try and chase them back on, 900 watts coming out that corner, we don't get the recovery that some of the group get. So having made it kind of back to the bunch, we now get the fast section that's around the back side of the course, and I kind of know coming into this, I actually think in a second you'll see me mentally kind of give up. I kind of mentally just like check out. I'm like, this is too much for me, I can't keep doing this. We're lap like 4 of 14, and I'm like, I cannot keep doing this. And a few of the guys come past me, you'll see that in a second, and then you'll just see me kind of be like, I can't. But then the group slows down. When the group slows down, I'm like, okay, one more kick, and I just about make it back onto the group. So the group is moving away from me here. My watts kind of come off. You can see me being like, I can't do it, I can't. And so my watts are low. Guys come past me, and I'm kind of like morally like in the bin. just don't have the motivation to want to try and keep pushing. Guys coming past me, I'm like, how is everyone riding so hard? I just couldn't do it. I didn't have, I just don't think I had the willpower to kind of do it. Like, my body wasn't really. It's funny because, referring to this as like a bit of burnout, what I tend to find is neuromuscular, as in what you ask your muscles to do, they're so good at doing it. But the problem is that your central nervous system just doesn't have the capacity to force that whole thing to work together. But I do see the group slow down. I see everyone come together, so it's not strung out. So I was like, okay, kick. And then I put this little kick in just to get back onto the group. And if that group hadn't slowed down and sat up, and the giveaway for it sitting up was the fact that it's like 4 or 5 across the road rather than strung out. So I was like, oh, the group must have sat up. They must have slowed down. That's what encouraged me to get back onto the group. But luckily, guys, it doesn't last for very long, because we get around the other side of the course and we come into the climb. The group moves up the climb, like some of the guys start attacking it. I do my best to not be in anyone's way. I remember a few guys being like, on your left, like, oh, just coming through. I'm like desperately being like, trying to get out of everyone's way, kind of hold my watts, do what I can, but just try and not stop anyone that wants to try and close the gap or shoot a gap, because we are, again, or certainly I am, moving backwards through the group. As you can see, I just didn't have the watts. My heart rate didn't really get as high as I would have liked, especially kind of what felt like I was working incredibly hard but not getting the payoff. So as we come up this climb, I don't know what it is, like maybe 5th time now, this was kind of like me just kind of cream cracker, just couldn't do it. I couldn't keep doing it. The watts, I feel like I say this afterwards, I do feel like I have the capacity to do it. I just feel like this was just like not a good day for me. And I think on a course like this, it just absolutely caught me out 100%. And this is basically it. I think I lose touch of the group as we come down the hill. And then, like I said, you get that little sharp corner. People kick out that sharp corner. Once people kick out this sharp corner, as you'll see in a second, what I should have done, I don't think I could have done anything more. But obviously coming down the hill, if you work a bit harder, you end up kind of getting back or closer onto the group. But I was having to use that descent, the little roll down the hill, as recovery. So I don't think on this day I could have done much more. I think even if I could have, it would have only been like lasting a few extra laps. I get this corner very wrong, by the way. That doesn't work out well for me. And then we kick out the corner and then it's just gone. Like, it's, it happens in like heartbeats, right? Even though you're putting the watts down, the group just absolutely moves away from us. And then you'll see, once we're outside of the bike and car convoy, once you're outside of that, it's not a course that allows you to then try and ride back onto the back of the group. We got outside the convoy, so it means the junctions were not closed for us, so we had to ride that a little bit more cautiously. And then you'll see here that we end up with a bit of traffic, and not blaming anyone, like, this is just what happens when you fall off a group. Like, you see the traffic come in, and then this is, that's it, that's good night. You can't kind of sit behind a car coming up to a junction. No one's fault, it's just is bike racing. We're off the back, it's our bad, but that was the end. That was hard.
The hill makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh my god. I think I need to take some time off. I'm not feeling 100%. That was up that hill was hard, but I should have that by now, because yeah, I should have that by now. I have that. I have those watts. I think I'm trying to do too much. I'm not recovering enough, and I'm just making it super hard for myself. I'm caught in a really, it's kind of like a fortunate position. It's like I love telling stories of these different races, and I think it's cool that I get to do that and like come to Swindon and show you the course and what type of race it is. I love doing that, but I'm caught in the trap of enjoying it for one, enjoying it too much for two, which means I'm trying to race twice a week, and I'm just getting absolutely cooked. Like, it's Sunday today, Monday and Tuesday after the VIA weekend, I basically didn't get out of bed. I did my work and sat in bed working and napped. I was napping 3 times a day or twice a day. Yesterday, 2 naps in the day. I think I'm just asking too much. I don't think I'm just not in my 20s anymore. And I think it's showing, because I had that. I feel like I had that in my locker to at least hold that group, but I didn't. So I don't have it in my locker, if that makes sense. Like, you can think you have it in your locker, but if you don't do it, it's not in your locker. And that's where I am. And again, I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice by racing and performing like that, because these races are getting stronger. 100% these races are getting stronger. I'll have to put the stats in. I raced this with a power meter because I wanted people to see the power, the numbers, because I think that is quite important, so people can come see whether they want to come do it. And like, I'm 77, 78 kg. My legs feel really, like the lactic, you know when you're going through and you're going anaerobic and your legs are just aching and lactic burn, I was pushing through that. And I was like, this really hurts, but I can still pedal. So my lactic clearance feels like it's good. I finally got to that point in the season where your legs are like, we've got this. You have got better at clearing lactic whilst still doing the thing. But I just don't feel 100%. And I need to sort that out. Otherwise, I'm just going to be making crappy videos, not performing. I think I'm making it, maybe cycling is becoming a bit too much for me. As in, like, it's become too much of my life. And I should find maybe another hobby. Maybe I should get a girlfriend. Maybe that'll help. But good race. I just wish, Friday night went out and did a tempo ride with some boys, and it's Sunday morning. I just feel like I'm letting myself down a bit, and I don't like that. But that race was, because it's a 5k circuit, 7-minute loops. Yeah. And then you kind of, the nice thing about it is that you learn the part of the course where the guys like to take it off the front. And there were some strong riders. I know for a fact there's a couple of boys in there who throughout this season have managed to basically become Cat 2. And they're just waiting for their points to clear on British cycling. So yeah, there's strong riders in there. So I feel like I have that in my locker. I have that in my locker to hold that group. I didn't. So can I say that? Oh well. Oh well. I just don't think today was my day. Well, I guess that's what you got to tell yourself, right? So that next time you can at least come back, give it another shot. So now that the 3-4 race has been done, apparently, didn't see the finish, wasn't there, they have a 2-3-4 that's happening now. So it's been fun to catch up with a few of the other guys who are going to be here and racing that. My thoughts on this race. I need to start I need to respect road racing a bit more, because I'm not treating it like I would if I relate it to like going to do a half marathon or a marathon. I'm, going out and trying to do too much for the week because I'm enjoying being on my bike, when in actual fact, I need to like chill out and just start. And I know that people are going to write about having a coach and stuff in the comments. I think we're almost at that point. It's just, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying telling the story of it. And the problem, not the problem is, but I think these Cat 3 races, or the Cat 3 riders, are getting really strong. I feel like they're getting really strong. I did 50 something minutes, normalized at 310 watts, maybe 305 watts, something like that. Which is hard, because yeah, that is hard. I also think that this part of the season, a lot, or not a lot, but like a couple of the guys in our 3-4 race have got their points to now be Cat 2, but because they entered this race before going up a category, they are still able to ride this race. So effectively, you are racing a 3-4 race with Cat 2 ability riders because they've got their points. So that again makes it hard. And those were the laps that were really hot, was when the Cat 2 riders, Joe and a couple of the other boys, were taking it off the front, and they were hooking into that little left-hander and holding threshold down there, and because it was stringing out into that left-hander, because it's a tight left that comes back on itself, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that all day. I did what I could, but yes, we are going to have to start respecting. Right, I don't think I've got any more road races booked in, but definitely need to respect. I think I respect all my races a bit more, which is why I can't do Hillingdon on Tuesday night. Not Hillingdon, Goodwood on Tuesday night, because I can't keep making videos about getting shelled as much as I am enjoying it. Right, thanks so much for sticking around. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you on another one soon.